Okay, Father Miller here. Welcome back, everybody. We are live. Thank you guys for joining me, even though it's an hour later. This is Catholic Schools Week in America, so because of that, we had a lunch at our school today.
A lunch? Don't you have a lunch every day?
Well, this was a catered lunch.
What's the difference?
A special lunch, a happy lunch.
Oh, okay.
So the Parent Teacher Association throws a special lunch for the teachers, and that's what we were just enjoying.
Was it nice? Did you
Yeah,
get
it was
meal?
like a New York strip mini steaks.
Dang! All right, I think we do pasta here. Like we get some spaghetti.
So how are you guys?
All right.
I'm well. You go first.
I'm all right. What was the news this week? It was
Captain America.
Captain America. That what's his name?
Stupid idiot.
Captain
What's up, BJ?
America, yeah.
Why even say it out loud? You know what's going to happen. I mean, how many years of this has happened? People will say something stupid like you know.
Yeah,
why would you say that?
We also have the fugitive doctor saying that she's the first doctor.
She can kiss my. Oh, sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I think from what I said, I think she said that's what she was told when doing Big Finish. I gather that running it, that's something that she was told. It wasn't what she thinks, it's what she'd actually been told.
But I'm uploading a new link for my soundboard.
Mm-hmm. But there's also that thing with Captain America. Someone made a point, which I think possibly valid point, that it didn't phrase it very well, but what he might have been trying to do was say, being aware that he was in Italy, and also perhaps being aware that, as with most films, most of the money comes from outside America. He might have been clumsily trying to make it look, it's not just America. Just because it's Captain America doesn't mean it's only American. But
he says it in a really bad way.
Yeah, it was really badly phrased.
I have my new sound clip uploaded, so this is my response to whatever her name is.
What have you got to say for yourself? That's stuffed.
And what was that? There was another bit of news, wasn't there? There was that trans guy that's writing for Doctor Who.
Yeah. The Emily
That's
Perez, whatever the thing is.
Yeah,
Juno
the
Dawson.
thing is.
Juno Dawson.
Oh, Matt Port is in the chat. Good to see you. Sorry you're not able to join us.
That's all right. It's incredible what's happened this week, isn't it? Do you hear about the what is it run by 2 Stars wants to take all of the films away from Hollywood and start shooting in Dallas? Who's the 2 Stars?
That'd be great. There's no reason these people can't pool their money and create their own studio.
It's Woody Harrelson and
probably McConaughey. Then if it's Woody, it's probably
both of them.
Because I think they're like they're illegitimate brothers. Like it's like this thing, and they're like best
they
buddies.
did that commercial recently. I don't know if it was for what it was for, but
it was a travel thing, like a AI reserving or something like that. It was
talking bad phrasing. Shooting in Dallas may not be the best way to put things.
Well, the Dallas government is saying that they're going to give good tax incentives if people come and shoot in Dallas and stuff.
They better be careful because Iowa did that, and all they did was take all the tax incentives, and then I don't know how this works, but they sold them all off, which is illegal. So, I mean, in 2009, Iowa had an influx of Hollywood. Like I was told, Kevin Costner and Hugh Jackman were enjoying a drink down at one of our local dive bars. I wasn't here at the time because I would have been down there like a fanboy, but they had everybody here was doing work, and then they like the Hollywood sold all their tax credits to make a bunch of money on the side. It was very, very, they did what they normally do, but we weren't prepared for them to be that shifty about it. So then everything got canceled up here, and they weren't allowed to come back and do movies or something.
Everything I'm watching so far, right? There's this trope going around, and I don't know if you guys have noticed it, right? Everything I've watched so far that involves police or FBI or MI6 has a black woman in charge. Have you not noticed that in everything I'm watching?
I don't see color.
Everything.
I haven't seen anything. I know what you're talking about.
Well, I do. So, so there you go. But I find it really weird that that's a trend now. Apologies for inconvenience as we build a whole. Yeah, well.
As Matt mentioned, Captain Kirk is from Iowa. It's actually about 20 minutes south of where Justin and I grew up.
I say is that
Riverside, Iowa. I've been there. The bar I found out, Justin, where Kirk is supposedly conceived, closed recently.
Wait, he was conceived in a bar?
Oh yeah. There's a bar, Murphy's, on Main Street where they had a plaque. Let me see if I can bring it up here.
My mom got down in this bar.
Well, no, it actually used to be under the pool table.
200 years in the future, Captain Kirk was conceived. Will be conceived.
It actually used to be under the pool table. There it is. Yeah,
this is a true story. You know, when they cancelled Star Trek, the 60s version of Star Trek, they started chucking everything away.
Yeah.
And the actual chair that William Shatner sat on the Enterprise, they were going to chuck it away, and this guy took it, and it ended up in a bar, right? And it was there for years. The original chair that William Shatner sat on. Would you believe that?
I think that's up in isn't there? There's a museum up in northern New York.
Yeah, they took it. Okay, and
so they have it.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely crazy.
Anyway, this was the plaque that used to be under the pool table at the bar where Kirk was supposedly conceived. When I went there, it was hanging on a wall because they got rid of the pool table a few years earlier.
Ah, okay.
So
that's pretty amazing. What else happened this week? I don't know.
I'm just trying to think.
You know, as I said, that writer for Doctor Who, who's just crazy.
Oh, you mean those 4 new writers?
Well, yeah.
That'll save the show.
Tell
that's not going to save anything, is it?
Is it? I've obviously not noticed this before, but is it normal that they announce the writers after they've done the writing and finish, and between when the filming's being done and when it's released? Because I've seen this, I'm thinking, but hold it, they finished filming season 2. What they need new writers for?
They're just trying to get attention on it because they know it's doomed. That's what they're trying to do.
It dumbfounds me. I'm boggled at just how this situation still unfolds in all entertainment aspects, where something's failing, so they throw more of the same. It's the definition of insanity. You do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Go back to what works and stop mucking up the show. It's that
okay.
simple.
So this is going to sound horrible, and forgive me if it is, but the guy there, well, the second guy in this picture. Looks like Reject from Black Panther.
What's he wearing in his head?
That's what I'm saying. It looks like something from Black Panther.
Isn't that also the sort of cap that a lot of your veterans, rather than some military, don't have a similar hat to that? I think.
I think I've seen that on his pilots. Aviators have a hat like that.
Pete McTeague,
he's straight up.
He's written for Doctor Who before, but he's just falling in line, is he? Because he needs the money. Yeah, he needs the money, so he's just falling in line.
You know what it is? He's now we have the token white guy to give the writing staff credibility, right? That's what they're going for now. It's all reversed. Yeah. So look, we've got this guy who did the work in that one. Never mind these other 3 people.
Juno's whiter than the other guy.
So it's 3 men and 1 woman then, right?
Shem.
For Doctor Who.
Shem.
What's a Shem?
She, him.
No, look, Justin, when you're on a stream with me, please don't say that. It's either a woman or a man, and this is definitely a guy. So come on.
Oh, that's true.
We can't step back on this thing. We have to be committed to what we believe.
I'm just making the joke.
Right.
Wasn't Shem one of the early?
Oh, Shep. The Three Stooges.
No, Shemp. Not Shemp. Shemp.
No, Shep was a dog. It was a border collie, I think. Was it?
Sorry.
Ian? Shep?
I don't know.
John Loach's dog. Get down, Shep.
Oh, yes, Shep. He was called Shep.
No, Shem.
No, that's where I thought he was going, was Shem.
That's where I was thinking too.
I'm thinking it was one of the major characters in the Bible, a Shem. It sounds. I've got for some reason I'm thinking of biblical connection and Old Testament.
Could it be a Hebrew word? Is Shem maybe a Hebrew word?
It could be. Possibly. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. We should have the rabbi on, but it's
how's he doing, by the way?
It's Passover there right now, or not Passover. It's Sabbath, so he can't join us.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not able to stream with him anymore. It's just because when I'm free, he's not. Plus the time difference.
Well, he I think really he just talks to himself because every time I tune in, I have no idea what he's going on about 9 times out of 10. I really don't. I'm like, what's he going on about now?
he does start off a lot. I think his first bit is a bit about that. I find it quite interesting. The rabbis, I mean, still listening to this one. The rabbis thing, I quite often find out quite a bit about Judaism and Jewishness, which I actually find quite interesting. It's the general interesting about this, about how how the Jewish, as he puts it himself. Well, what's the phrase he uses? So religious fanatic.
Very confusing.
Yeah,
it's very confusing. His religion. It's very confusing. I have a really good friend who's Jewish, and she tries to explain it to me, and I'm like so confused. I don't know what, I couldn't.
Well, and I will say, it's been a while since I talked to him, and I do miss talking to him. He helped me out last year in class when the war broke out because he was willing to film a video for my students with answering any questions they had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what he didn't go in the. He didn't go in the line, did he? Didn't go where the bullets were flying, did he? Towards
the end, he had a screen or one of his title cards, which is like, okay, I don't think I can show that in class.
He wasn't that far off because both of his sons got married last year.
Yeah.
And one of them, I think, actually got married. He actually got married on the battlefield. And the family were there.
I remember it made the news.
Yeah. I remember saying,
you know what? I think the UK, the majority of the UK, the only ones that really don't care much about what's going on. They're kind of like verbal. There's a lot of verbal people out there that go on social media and they're really verbal and from the UK. But compared to the Americans and compared to the Jewish people and stuff like that about politics and stuff, as far as I can tell, you guys are crazy. We step back and we wait till something happens to us, then we go mad. That's the problem with us. We're too reserved, I find.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I love watching your Parliament question time. I wish we could do that over here, where it's like we could berate the questioner or whatever the person at the podium. I love that.
Yeah, but it's by the BBC, and it's kind of heavily edited and stuff. So what I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I think it's a good thing personally.
On the plus side, we don't very often get ministers being heckled by a bunch of horrendous harpies.
Doesn't matter what
live action TV like you do at the Senate hearings.
What we've learned right in this country, it doesn't matter. You can have thousands walking the streets complaining about something, and yet the government just ignores everyone. It's like the time when we didn't want to go to war, when Blair was in charge. Millions walked the streets, and they still went to war.
Yeah.
So what was the point? What was the point?
It's to show that you're not going to vote for them the next time around, but they have to follow through with that.
Unfortunately, what then happens is that you get people just don't vote. And so what you get is you get a government elected with a air quotes majority when they've actually got something like 30% of the total possible electoral vote, and they consider that to be a mandate.
I hate politics.
Me too. I would keep talking about it.
Hate it.
But the fun thing
comic books.
Something about growing up in Iowa was getting to see the candidates every few years.
Yeah, they had to come here because apparently our votes really matter in the state of Iowa. So
do you were talking about John Bosco a couple?
Yeah.
He's the patron of my church. We've even got so we got a bodice that one of the priests. His name was Father Correct. He was really good with building stuff and sculpturing and stuff, and he did one of St. John Bosco, and it's literally opposite the altar. It's on the wall. So I mean, I when I was a kid, I knew who St. John Bosco was. They showed us the film. They made a film of him.
Oh yeah, the Ben Garcia one.
Yeah, they showed. I think
that's the thing that made me fall in love with him as a saint.
Yeah,
because I remember watching that movie as a kid or in college, and just
did you say bodice or bust, Ian?
No, it was like it's just his head and his shoulders.
Yeah. No, so I thought you said bodies, which is
No.
He did say bodies.
Yeah.
Did I say bodies? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was gonna let it slide. I was
gonna
okay,
say,
sure.
Oh, sorry.
fine. What did you say?
said the wrong
where?
thing.
But we will go into that.
I'm trying to find.
Say bust. Yeah, shoulders and heads.
Yeah, sounded head. But
Bodies
yeah,
is
I
what
mean,
a bodies is
There
what
we
you
go,
rent
there's
to get out the bus. I mean,
didn't St. John Bosco, he came to England, didn't he? Or did he? As I get it
His
wrong?
religious order did.
Yeah.
He started
so,
the Salesians.
Yeah. Clapham, it started in Clapham, which is
But
where
he
I live.
actually he died in 1888. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's a saint of our time.
But he's apparently he was a really nice person.
Yeah.
So there you
I
go.
mean, if I remember the story, he wanted to be in the circus when he was younger, and that was one of the things he did to entertain the kids was like tight rope walking, stuff like that.
Wow.
It makes you wonder, right, with these saints and stuff, what they would have done, especially someone like St. John Bosco, if they were born in this time with digital media and stuff like that. How would they have dealt with that? Makes you wonder.
I don't know. I mean, you see, I think you're the one that introduced me to Pond Friar Review.
Really?
The Franciscan ones, the Franciscan ones that do the Catholic podcast.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because I actually showed one of those in class not too long ago. But
are they still going?
The what?
Are they still going?
I think it's only the younger one now.
Right. Okay.
So, but I got to vent just a little bit because I finished this earlier this morning.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys heard of this one.
Yes, I have.
No, not me.
I haven't seen it. Isn't it where everybody dreams about him?
Yeah, I would say don't.
So it's rubbish.
Mostly because it's like at the end of it, it's like, what the heck did I just watch?
How would you compare this film to Being John Malkovich? Because just the idea of this film makes me think of that film.
I haven't seen Being John Malkovich in probably 20 years.
That'll twist your hairs. That's a weird movie.
12 Monkeys made more sense than this.
Okay. You know, going back to what you said about Man of Our Times, I heard a weird fact the other day that blew my mind. Did you know that Pablo Picasso lived to 1973?
Yeah.
Wow.
I always thought he was like a 16, 17, 1800s kind of guy.
Oh, no.
He had a car. He'd watch TV.
Remember his thing, one of his
blows my mind.
is about the Spanish Civil War.
Yeah, Guernica Night.
Just blew my mind.
Guernica, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'd like to apologize to my art teacher, Mr. Evans. I didn't learn anything about Pablo Picasso.
Do you know Warner Brothers has put in their films on YouTube? They put Oh God over the weekend on YouTube, the whole movie, and City Heat with Clint Eastwood and Burt Reynolds. That's on YouTube. You can watch the whole movie.
I bet that's a good movie.
So yes, So I don't know, because I think Warner Brothers is going down in flames, so they just don't care anymore. Just sticking their films on YouTube. So
really
the article.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. It's the new Odyssey movie. I saw that they cast somebody. There it is. Let's bring this up. It's probably not the best source, but
they just cast what's his her it's
oh no.
Yeah,
come on, I don't want to subscribe.
Yeah.
There it is.
Is that Elaine Page?
Ellen, yeah.
No, Elaine Page is a singer.
I know, I'm just joking.
Oh right, so no,
Elaine Page.
Yeah.
No,
Elaine Page has got more talent.
That's Elliot now, isn't it? Elliot. She is known as now. So
yeah.
You know, it's a shame though, is because it's Christopher Nolan. Regardless of them being in it, it'll probably still be a good movie.
You know what?
Christopher Nolan makes a good movie.
Do you know what I am?
Short.
I think Chris Nolan films are okay. I'm not in awe of his films at all.
Comparatively speaking, I compare him to like everything else that comes out. It's like, well, if I walk into a Christopher Nolan film, I'm going to be entertained. Usually.
Well, again, I disagree. Every Chris Nolan film I've seen has been interesting.
Maybe I have the wrong guy.
Sometimes it's taxing as well. But I got to admit, it is entertaining.
Didn't he do the Batman? Was that he was Christopher Nolan?
Well, he did.
Yeah, he did.
The first two were good. The first
Yeah.
two of the three were really good,
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Well, 3 was a mess, but then again, if you didn't read DC growing up, 3 was acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, I did, he did well with the Batman films, but then after that, he started. Look, there's a difference between
Didn't he do
Spielberg,
Dunkirk?
Hitchcock, and
That
Chris
is true.
Nolan
That is
and
true.
the others. I think Hitchcock and Spielberg they find the balance between art and entertainment and trying to reach the ordinary Joe.
I think it would be unfair to try to compare all them, considering that Spielberg and Hitchcock don't really make movies anymore. I can't think of the last.
No,
thing
I'm just.
I just remember
comparing the films.
Going out. What was it, like 10, 12 years ago when Dunkirk came out? I remember shelling out money to go see it in IMAX.
How was it?
And it was like halfway through it, I finally figured out halfway through the film that they were doing different sequences at different times.
Oh, I hate that. Okay,
it's like because it wasn't making sense.
But
I hate jumping around. Yeah,
I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, mate. Go on, Justin. Go on.
Well, I was gonna say they did that to a TV show where they jumped around. They released episodes at different times, which really screwed the whole flow of the show up. It was that one with Carl Urban, where he was a detective and he was paired with an AI robot. And
yes.
The show was incredible, and then the writers got mad and they started putting the wrong episodes out, screwed everything up, and got canceled. But yeah, when they do time jumps in movies, it drives me crazy.
It's I was just saying that I think, you can't compare. Well, I think you can compare. I'm just talking about the way they used to make films. I think the majority of directors in the 90s and 80s had in mind how to entertain the audience. But then you've got people like Chris Nolan who does the Batman films. And after that, he tries to be too clever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think anyway. That's
I agree. If you compare over long periods of time, I just mean if you're going to the movie theater and there's 5 movies out and one of them's a Christopher Nolan film, you may gravitate towards that because at least he puts some money behind what he's doing. Unless there's better out. I'm not putting him on a shelf and saying I love Christopher Nolan. I'm just saying.
Well, here I shared this in the chat earlier this week. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer, but I do want to play the Ministry of Vengeance, which I'm hoping to watch this weekend. And the thing is, it's amazing, is the cast. When you see who the cast is.
After the horrors of Vietnam, David Miller built a new life. Then, in one brutal moment,
this is the fate of all hostages.
All of that was shot.
Oh man!
Is that Bo
David
Duke?
Miller's leaving the Order of God to join the Ministry of Vengeance.
I want to play that part again.
God. Now, David Miller is leaving the Order of God to join the Ministry of Vengeance.
I want to watch this.
John Schneider, George Kennedy.
When was this made?
Ned Beatty.
Oh, Beatty.
Apollonia. And James Tolkien.
Why have you come?
Sometimes a man has to ignore what is right.
Send you straight to hell.
To avenge a wrong. Ministry of Vengeance.
I can't say I disagree with this film at all. This looks like a brilliant film.
I've got to see this movie.
9.
Well, if you ever go to a convention, Father, you've got your next cosplay.
Well, but, I mean, the other thing is they got Yappa. What's his name from Live and Let Die? The bad guy.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce the name because what?
Toto.
Yeah, he's in it too.
Oh,
right, without the food.
But I mean, it's like it has John Schneider, George Kennedy from the Airplane movies.
Yeah, Beatty's in there.
Ned Beatty.
Ned Beatty's
the guy from Back to the Future and Top Gun. I mean, it's an amazing cast.
Strickland. I didn't realize his name was Tolkien, or is it just Tolkien?
Yeah.
Distant relation or proper relation? I wonder.
No.
Did you see there was they did a I'm not sure how you put it in South Park in the last series of South Park, last on South Park. You've got
93 years old.
How old is he now?
93.
Wow.
What happened in South Park, Archer?
Well, you've got Token, the Token character.
Oh yeah, the black.
Oh, Token, the black. Yeah, his name is Token because he's a black kid. Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that.
And also, and it's Token Rich. It's Token Rich. They retconned it to make it. I think the last to actually make it. It's not Token. It's Tolkien.
Yeah, I know they try to always backtrack, don't they? These people
change-
now,
Which
It's
is weird because
crazy.
I've never known them to do that. Usually they
No.
stand behind whatever
Yeah.
ridicule, and that was a perfect example. As the one black kid in the film full of white people is what they would call the token kid. It was a joke, but making fun of it seems like normal stuff for them.
The joke was he's the token black kid, he's the token rich kid.
Yeah,
because his parents are rich and all the other kids are working class. The joke was just took his baggage because
he's rich because in those later seasons they're playing Warhammer, and you got to have some money.
Yeah.
Where is it? I'm looking for.
What else came out this week?
Token's a great character. They don't let him. He doesn't look bad in any show. He's pretty good character in
There
the
we
show.
go. I think this is the clip.
I was just thinking. I actually know about half a dozen at least of the names starring in this upcoming Odyssey thing. Probably they're not actually giving roles. We've got names. We've got Zendaya, Zendaya doesn't need a surname. Tom Holland, Dan Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Matt Damon, John Bernthal. I've heard the name and I don't know him. Charlize Theron.
Is this the Nolan film?
Yeah, this is the Nolan. Yeah, the upcoming Nolan one.
See, right away, a cast like that just puts me off.
Really?
Yeah, the whole thing just puts me off. Because these actors, they're kind of linked with things that I don't agree with. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, well,
it's not that. I mean, I can't actually, when you consider what the Odyssey is about, I can't see how I can't see a character here, an actor here, that would be either Odysseus or Penelope. Matt Damon is the only one who is old enough to be Odysseus, because Odysseus has been away from over 20 years.
What's this film about?
The Odyssey. Odysseus.
Odyssey.
You see, again, right? If that's not pretentious, I don't know what is. Come on, you're going to make a film.
I mean, they just released a Ralph Fiennes movie about the Odyssey.
Yeah, I looked up. There's a surprising number of them. I just been on IMDb. There's a surprising number about. Not that many about the Iliad. I mean, Troy was about the Iliad.
Mm-hmm.
But
in the news there was Tarantino going on about films that hasn't been a really good film since 2019. He was going about
I saw that.
Dead or something like that. I can't remember what he said.
Can you imagine how bad we would receive other movies if, like in the 1980s, we had the same social media? Because those people were nuts too.
They were, yeah, they were. But at least they were thinking of the audience in those days. But now they're not. Yeah, they're thinking about other things. So
I don't know if you want to see the clip about the token and token.
I totally do.
Go on in.
Okay, here we go.
Why did you name your son that?
My husband has always been a huge fan of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to name my son after my favorite author, but she didn't want to name our son J.R.R., so we just named him Token. His name is Tolkien? Yes, you know his name is Tolkien.
I thought your name was Token. My name is Tolkien.
Sorry, I don't think it's that weird. J.R.R. Tolkien is one of the most prolific, influential writers of our time.
That is great. I remember seeing that now that you've shown it. Yeah, they the joke was they changed his name in the show. Like everybody's been pronouncing it wrong the whole time. Now, if you want a great cast of an early movie, like a bunch of news or a newbie actors,
Nudes.
well, not noobs with a B.
Noobs.
Movies.
Okay.
Ice Pirates was always one of my favorite films.
I saw that a long time ago. I can't even remember.
You want to talk about a cast of people that all went like A-list over time?
Yeah,
that's an impressive cast.
What about Magnificent Seven? The 60s Magnificent Seven.
I never saw the 60s ones. I did enjoy the new one.
The new one's terrible compared to the 60s one, but everyone in that film became huge stars, didn't they?
Everyone. I love an unknown group. I love a group of unknowns. I think most films are better when you're not fixated on who the actor is, and you can
There's this one you may never have heard of. I don't know. Maybe you have. Scavenger Hunt.
Nope.
This is like
ready, set, start.
They did a newer version of this.
Richard Benjamin,
I've
James
heard of
Coco,
this.
Statman Crothers, Ruth
I've
Gordon,
never
Forrest
seen it.
Leachman, Cleavon Little, Roddy McDowell, Robert Morley, Richard
It's
Mulligan,
like a Cannonball
Tony Rattle
movie.
with Dirk Benedict. Also starring Willie Ames, Stephanie Pharisee, Stephen First, Richard Masur. Special appearances by Meatloaf, Patrick Corbin, Vincent Price, Avery Schreiber, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Liz Torres, Carol Wayne. Scavenger Hunt.
Wow.
A race for $200 million. Rated PG.
Yeah, they did a remake of that, and I think John Cleese was heading up the bets.
Yeah,
like, he had a whole bunch of people betting on, and had a whole bunch of I call them B and C list celebrities in there. People that are well known. I like that. I wish we would see more of that. I would like to see a bunch of these A-listers who think they're very awesome and do like a fun movie. Like,
do you know what movie they haven't made, which deserves to be made, is the Wacky Races?
Oh yeah,
that's what they should do next.
The Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Yes, yes, they should do that. Get some stars to play some of those characters. That'd be amazing.
Okay, fine, but 10 minutes.
Wow, the Barbie Museum.
Close by, sometimes known as the Butcher of Lyon. Let the Jew
the Barbie Museum,
death camps, and so-called
They're Jewish. That's a Jewish family in the
this
film.
museum is lovingly dedicated to the Klaus Barbie that nobody knows.
The husband, the devoted father, the wine connoisseur, and 3-time ballroom dancing champion.
You would never get that today.
No,
that was great. That was
That's
great.
so funny. That's
so great.
Well, then they got the clip where John Lovitz accidentally got the cigarette lighter in his throat, and then is speaking to the World War II veterans. Like,
he's going hi. He's doing the thing. Oh, fun Nazi fact. A buddy of mine. This is fun. A buddy of mine is his grandmother loved the color red. And when they passed away, his grandfather was already passed away. When she passed away, they were cleaning out her house. They found a big chest full of everything red that her husband, his grandfather, had brought her as gifts. And in there was a 16 or 24-foot long Nazi banner that he had brought back when they liberated France. It was one of the ones that was on the building. He captured that, brought it home, and said, "Look what I took home from the war."
And PJ got a good point here. Father Ted in the Window, which is
that was
excellent
brilliant.
episode.
That was brilliant.
This is actually from my Grandpa Miller.
Oh man, that's crazy. You might get.
I think it's part of Luftwaffe T-shirt.
You might get your channel banned because
that's the kind of thing you have in your collection with a letter. So when your family finds it, you go, "Listen, just so you know, the reason I have this, etc., etc."
Yeah, but the thing is, my family knows that Grandpa fought in World War II. So I mean,
but nobody else knows that.
Do you know what else happened?
I make it known.
This week was it this week about the girl on The View, the woman of color, should I say, on The View, the show The View, and she did that. Well, she keeps championing.
Which one? Sunny
The woman of color. There's only one woman of color on, apart from Whoopi. Apart from Whoopi, there's this other girl, right? I don't even know because I don't watch it. But she did a show. You know when they go track back your ancestors.
Oh yeah.
She did that show.
That. Oh, yeah.
Her family.
Turns out she was slaveholders.
Yes, was slaveholders.
I found out my family was. One half of my family coming from overseas. That was back in the day when everybody had slaves, but I'm stayed that way. We don't have them anymore.
So this is actually a book from my fifth grade grandpa's family.
So on that subject, there's a famous sportscaster named Jason Whitlock, which is our family's last name. And that's a very obscure last name. That's not something that would come from a South African region. He was obviously, I would assume he was a descendant from his family was probably owned as slaves at one time. And that's you can draw that connection very easily.
Yeah.
Just part of history. It doesn't make anybody a bad person.
Well, they've obviously the people on the internet or interweb, really had a go at her. Yeah, really having a go at her. So there you go.
Yeah, I saw something about it. I saw someone on Twitter, but I didn't actually
play it.
Didn't actually pay much attention to it. But
we used to sing this in the seminary for fun.
Day's never finished. Master got me working. Someday Master set me free.
Hey, shut up, Cartman.
What's that tune?
That is from the Barbra Streisand episode, which she came out and hated, and then they started putting. I think it was the Halloween episodes. They were doing Spooky Vision. They would just frame the show with her face the whole time, like her in the corner of the TV.
Was it them that had their Godzilla ripoff? Was Mecha Barbra Streisand?
Yes, Mecha Streisand.
What was that tune? They were singing to. The tune.
I don't know. I mean, we only knew the refrain for that part.
Yeah, and that just it might be a made up. I don't know.
Was Barbra Streisand angry then?
A little bit.
Yeah,
A little
a little bit.
Now
there's a great moment in that movie, the show, and I remember a buddy of mine would just bust up laughing because Mecha Streisand's tearing up South Park, crash, 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 and then Kyle's mom runs up to her in the middle of all this devastation. She goes, "Oh my God, it is you!" And she hands her a piece of paper and a pen. She wants, "Can I get your autograph?" While she's tearing up the town. So,
well, I mean, Barbara Streisand. There's no two ways about it. You know, she was a huge star at one point, wasn't she? And you know,
bit of a diva.
Well, yeah, I hate to say it, but she's got an amazing voice. I actually heard her live once.
I can't stand her.
Incredible voice. I don't like her music, but she's got an incredible voice.
What's her face? The record breaking, but not for good reason. Prince Farquaad. The girl
Prince Farquaad.
Yeah. The girl that's played Snow White.
Oh, weird. What's her name? That one.
Apparently, I think she's actually got a really good singing voice.
Snow White from Shrek. The girl.
No. Snow White, the film that's coming out.
Oh, Snow White.
Rachel Zegler.
Yeah,
Rachel tan. Because very tan. Very.
Yeah, the one that keeps getting called.
She has an amazing voice. It's just too bad that it comes with her personality.
The haircut that they gave her for Snow White looks very much like Lord Farquaad in Shrek.
You got a He-Man Page Boy haircut.
A lot of people have said that. But you know, I just saw the Drinkers video, and it's the only trailer that's got over 1 million dislikes or something like that.
And it's about 97% dislike ratio or something.
So thinking of songs, whoops. Yeah,
you know what they should do is they should destroy the film and then go get wherever they're hiding Batgirl and just put that out instead.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah. So this is the song I'm thinking of now.
Everyone, I brought some burgers and fries. Eat up. The protein soaks up the sugar. First, you take the cow to the killing floor.
Well,
first you take the cow to the killing floor. I want more of the song, but I guess that's the only lyrics of it. It's something he made up.
You know, that guy always gets cast in things like that. Who's that actor?
Ron Swanson.
He always gets cast in things like that, doesn't he? Always.
Yeah,
what's that? What's his name?
Nick
Offerman.
Nick Offerman. Who's that guy? Who's that guy that was in the
Civil War movie? The American Civil War movie. Yeah, he played the president or something.
There's another actor that always gets cast in things like that. He was in The Office, you know, the movie The Office, the main star. I can't remember his name. He always gets cast in things like no. There's a film called The Office.
Office Space.
Office Space. That's it. Who's the main guy in that? He always gets cast in stuff like that as well.
Livingston.
Yeah. Always.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I'm just
not going to go to work anymore.
Yeah. He gets promoted by saying all that.
Quitting? No, I'm just not going to show up.
Yeah, it's very good. It's a very good movie.
That movie always reminds me. That movie always takes me back to Wanted with Chris Pratt has a small part in that, and he plays side by side with.
With
young Picard, young Xavier.
McAvoy with Jodie. What's her name? Jolie. Yeah, we're all old.
Name
Angelina Jolie. Angelina
Jolie. Yes,
she's
that's
in
right.
it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Actually, I always tell my kids. I do superhero trivia. My kids is to name a movie where Professor X smacks Star-Lord in the face with a keyboard, and my kids are like, "What?" And I tell them, they're like, "Oh, it's that one."
It was okay. That movie was okay.
It was fun. The ending was kind of dumb, but it was based on the comic book. So what do you want?
So I got to play another song, but this is actually a full song here by the Reverend Horton Heat. Called "Eat Steak."
Look at all the cows in the slaughterhouse yard. Gotta hit them in the head. Gotta hit them real hard. First you gotta clean it, then the butcher cuts it up, throws it on a scale, throws an eyeball in a cup. Saw a big brain steer standing right over there, so I rustled up a fire, just a medium rare. The big old steer, have one deer.
Maybe that's what he was singing.
Have one deer, beef. It's a mighty good food. It's a grade A meal. One arm.
So did he create this song? because he didn't like. He
had a line:
vegan.
"Eat a cow, it's good for you. Eat a cow, eat a cow. It's a thing that goes moo."
Until it
Is
doesn't.
he a
then you eat
vegan?
it.
No.
Oh, right. Okay.
That was definitely a pro steak song right there.
Oh, right. Okay.
Pro
Okay.
meat. My wife just charred up some meat the other night in the Ninja Grill.
I got it queued up. Here we go.
Eat a cow, cause it's good for you. Eat a cow, it's a thing that goes.
All right, now play Psychobilly Freakout.
No.
Psychobilly Freakout.
I hadn't even heard of this guy until today.
Neither did I until I started hanging out with gamers.
Gary, I know Gary knows of him.
If you like country music, which I do, I used to a lot.
But didn't he do Psychobilly Freakout? Wasn't that one of his songs?
Go back a few years, see if you can find Billy Connolly and the country and western super song.
Do you know? YouTube's been recommending old videos recently on my. They sent one with Gary Beekler, and it was like must have been about 8 years old without his beard. It was really weird.
Oh.
Them? I was watching. I was like, "What? Who's that?" I was like, I suddenly realized it was him. Without
one of his earlier videos, maybe.
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa, what's going on there?"
Okay,
yeah,
so
YouTube's a bit funny these days.
One thing that's weird is I've been getting a lot of AI videos on here, like
I think
this.
we all have been getting a lot of AI videos. My thing.
Well, this is a clean one I can play part of.
On my woman and not too soon, but you've made a mistake. I've got friends across the state, and at the drop of a hat they'll arrive never late. So you're cool to run yellow tonight, right? Yeah, we'll fill it with all of our might. We're a thirsty, insatiable bunch, and we've had nothing but warm beer since lunch. So while that woman may be by your side, your fool will run yellow tonight. Oh, yeah.
Lovely. So that's a AI country song.
I think so, but there's that's probably the only decent one I could play on the stream without correcting myself.
Oh well, yeah, of course.
Well,
what do you guys think of that new Spider-Man cartoon? Apparently, he's the only white guy in it.
Oh yeah, I mean, signaling was
the wizard is race changed.
Oh,
and with Rhino is a woman.
Oh
Lord! Lizard gender changed as well, or was Lizard? Because I saw seen picture of that, which is why I asked, because I thought, oh no, are we now doing amputee representation as well? But if that's from the comics, that's fine.
No, that's true. Yeah, Dr. Connors lost an arm. If you go back and watch the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, I think it was the second one, he has a little guest spot where he's berating Peter for not showing up to class, and he doesn't have his arm. The guy who's playing Dr. Connors.
So this is from the Mary Sue. We're talking about Gary.
I like Adrotic.
Men refused to what's that? Who refused to use brain cells when interacting? Well, there always got to be a pushback, isn't there? There's always got to be.
So she's justifying his words by, he made a retractment later on X, which means he got in trouble, like every one of them does, and then made a little apology about it because, I mean, he's more intelligent than that. Yeah, he said what he said. He may have been pandering to a crowd, but he still said it out loud. And if you say it out loud, there's part of you that feels that because you can't put those words together without having
take
thought
it
about
back.
it.
Yeah. You can't
Captain
take
America's
it back.
He's America. And one of my favorite things his character ever does is when he's talking to Peter during the Civil War, and he talks that whole speech about standing like a tree next to the river of truth and saying, "No, you move." That's Captain America all day long. I got 3 issues of that in my collection because it's such a great moment. And that's the Captain America is.
Well, they don't want to spoil his name now, don't they? By making him the Hydra Captain America.
Right, yeah.
Well, what really sucks is I like Falcon.
Steve Rogers' name.
I wish
this dumb thing is people have been saying totally. It's incredibly racist to say, okay, we've got Captain, we've got Falcon. Is he Falcon or is he Black Falcon? I think he was Black Falcon in the original comics.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
I genuinely can't remember. I mean, you can a long time, so long ago that I can remember buying his comics back in the 60s and the 70s, or maybe a black superhero.
Yeah.
You want representation. So now, what do you do to your original old guard black superhero, you have him take over another person's role, a white person's role, a hand, and then they wonder why.
Nope, hold on, let me bring you up.
That's his first. That's his first appearance there.
He used to have a falcon, didn't he? Like a real falcon.
Yeah, he had Red Wing. Red Wing was his dog, and they played that up in Ultron. Was it Ultron? No, it wasn't Ultron. It was Civil War. I don't remember.
Yeah, he had like a machine. It wasn't a real. It was like a little.
I was going to say
he had a drone. Yeah, drone.
Yeah.
I did love the What If series from the 80s.
Oh yeah.
You
got the stuff.
What if Sergeant Fury fought in space during World War II?
This is the thing I don't understand about comics. Ben Grimm, he walks around in his underpants most of the time. Yet when he goes to things like that, where Captain America's getting sworn in, he's wearing a suit. It's like,
well, because I can give you comic answer to this, because he's at a formal event where he has to look nice, whereas when he's in battle, a rock monster is not going to be able to preserve whatever costume he had on. Now, here's the question: what was he wearing when he got affected by the solar rays? Because wouldn't that outfit work?
Exactly.
Oh, is that Reed Richards with the glasses on? Because I'm thinking it looks a little bit like it's Stan Lee.
No, Reed's over other side of the blonde girl.
Yeah. That's Nick Fury. It looks like Stan Lee.
The guy with glasses. I don't know.
No, that on the back, it looks like Stan Lee to me.
Yeah.
He's just angry.
Stan Lee.
He's an angry Stan Lee.
Isn't that Ronald Reagan next to? No, it looks like Ronald Reagan.
It looks like Ronald Reagan between his right in front of Cap.
Yeah,
yeah,
it does. Yeah.
Oh yes, okay. I was looking at the middle row.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is with the whole Sam Wilson becoming Captain America is it doesn't fit because Bucky was right there. It doesn't fit because he has no superpowers.
Yeah.
You know why they did
he can't do anything that those two can do, but yet he gets the shield, and I mean, maybe he's got a power suit. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You know what? I was watching a video that Dave Cullen did, and he was talking about how Marvel is failing and stuff like that. But he didn't mention the obvious thing. He keeps talking about they should get writers to do this. The reason why these films are failing is because they turn in every boys' own adventures into women's stuff. That is the main reason why all of these things are failing. And then on top of the cake, they're putting the trans stuff on top of it, and that's why it's got nothing to do with bad writing. There's been bad writing since the dawn of movie making, but what they're doing is they literally destroying the product.
Same thing that Disney did to Star Wars. In fact, they just got that comic out this month where it ended, where it was the battle after Endor, and they've officially now destroyed all of expanded universe canon by creating new canon. And it's like, why do you I don't understand why they constantly take established 40, 50 years worth of writing and say, well, we know this was successful and everybody likes this, but let's trash all that so we can put the message out there.
That's why.
That's all. Yeah.
Why? What are you in the business of doing? If you want to propaganda, why do they do this? I don't get it.
I know why they're doing it. It's because what they want to do is train the next generation of kids to make this normalize what they're trying to sell. Yeah. That's what they're trying to. That's their end game. That's their end game.
I'll tell you what. This is a video on YouTube that's like 21 minutes of commercials promoting the Return or the Empire Strikes Back, and I like it already. 30 seconds of it because, I mean, I can enjoy this, but I can't watch modern stuff. I just.
Favorite film of all time.
Awesome confrontation.
I mean, I just like the way they.
Here we go. Master of the dark side of the Force, Darth Vader.
Yeah. Just before they shot it.
Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia.
Yeah, those are movie stills. Solo. Those are production stills.
Yeah.
R2-D2, Chewbacca, and introducing Landau Calrissian. In the continuation of the Star Wars saga, the Empire Strikes Back.
Hold on, did they just say introducing Landau Calrissian?
It is. I remember seeing this ad in the cinema. Actually, I remember seeing this in the cinema.
Remember how scary the announcers were back then? Like the first Star Wars was like, in a battle of space, and it's like this dark, scary voice. I'm like, why is it so scary?
Yeah. Well, they didn't know. They didn't know what they had in those days, did they? It was.
Well, I mean, the thing that's fun is they actually have, for each of the original trilogy, they have a
compilation.
Compiled it of all the commercials and everything.
Well, I haven't seen any. The only Disney Star Wars I've seen was seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And that's mainly because someone I was watching at the time was going to be doing a watch along of season 2 of The Mandalorian. I'd seen the first episode, it hadn't grabbed me. I thought, okay, I'll go back and watch it again, and I watched the whole lot. That's the only. It's like the only Disney post, or in fact, the only Disney Marvel, or at least the only post-apocalypse Marvel stuff I've watched at all. I watched WandaVision, and I watched one episode. I managed to make it through one episode of Winter Soldier, and that was it. I haven't watched anything of theirs at all.
No, do you know what? Right,
I haven't watched any Doctor Who since I mentioned the first season of Doctor Nasty. But
there's too much. There's too much choice now, and that's kind of spoiling
that is the worst part of it.
Well, and the thing I realize, Star Wars for me is like Alec Baldwin now. I can enjoy Alec Baldwin's earlier stuff like Beetlejuice, Hunt for Red October, but his new stuff stinks. Same thing with Mark Hamill. I can enjoy his old stuff, but anything new, it's so tainted by his politics and everything.
He went too far. Did you? But on the subject, you said Hunt for Red October. Did anybody here bother to watch the Jack Ryan show on Amazon?
No.
I watched 2 seasons of it.
No, do you know why? Because it looked ridiculous. That guy with the big ears as Jack Ryan. You're like, no.
I actually enjoyed it.
He's really good. He's really good in it, and he's physical.
No, bad casting. Sorry, it's like casting Benny Hill as James Bond. Do you know what I mean?
No. Yes. Now that I can
forget it.
You are terrible to please. Nobody can make you happy. I swear to God. What about Reacher? You watch Reacher?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Reacher. Season 2 was a bit.
Krasinski's really good because he's a good dramatic actor. He's got. I mean, if you watch the Quiet Place, he's a good dramatic actor. He's not. I mean, he's got action scenes in the show, but his action scenes are like, I'm gonna die if I don't fight this guy off me, and there's like a knife involved. It's not like he's walking around with machine guns. He's playing an analyst at the CIA, so it works well. He starts off in an office.
DJ's thinking what I'm thinking.
Jamie Bond. But the thing is, though, seriously, though, I think it was the start of Hollywood hating good-looking people, and they cast Kavinsky, whatever his name is, in that role. And immediately when I saw it, I was like, no, I can't take this guy with the big ears to be some hero. No, he's yes, definitely Alice. You should stay in the background. You should get someone that actually looks like a hero to play that role.
Did you watch any of it? Did you watch a single episode?
I watched the first episode. That was it. I thought, no.
I read quite a few of the early Jack Ryan books up to. I think I got as far as the one where he becomes. I think one where he becomes president. Yeah,
becomes president.
Yeah,
God.
The thing is, the way he became. What's
Sounds
really
like you skipped a few.
Yeah, I remember the way he became president when 9/11 happened.
Exactly. I was going to say because what happened.
I remember reading the book like in the 90s.
Yeah, me too.
When 9/11 happened, that's the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah, because what happened if you haven't read the book? It's he's been appointed vice president.
Vice president.
And he's not there, and the president now does. I don't think it's inauguration. It's a Capitol building, isn't it, Father?
Yeah, it was basically an angry Japanese guy flies a plane into the dome, killing all the cabinet and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and this was, as you said, Father. This was what, the mid-90s.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing where it's like he literally flies like a 737 into the dome of the Capitol.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when 9/11 is happening, you're wondering if they're going to attack the dome or if they're going to hit the White House. I mean, Jack Ryan came to mind.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I miss the Star Wars. I really miss this stuff.
You know what I watched the other day, Father? I watched The Force Awakens. Against my own will. I just decided to do it. And I was like, because I was having this existential thing. I was thinking about, I remember when we had the start and everything was exciting and people were excited about this new beginning of Star Wars. Yeah. And the movie itself isn't terrible. I mean, it's got great cinematography. It's great cinematography. And the character is introduced. Like, I loved Poe Dameron. I thought he was a great character. Oscar Isaac's a really good actor. But then after that second movie just torpedoed everything.
That's the thing. That's where I first became aware of Jeremy and Gary, just because I left the theater thinking Star Wars isn't supposed to suck.
It's not supposed to make you
just
depressed.
Lost Ian.
We lost Ian. Come back. Well, that's what I was thinking. I got depressed thinking about you had this opportunity to create something phenomenal and to have this years and decades of success, and it just pooped all over it.
And then when Carrie died, they frittered away the only chance to have all three together.
So all they needed to do, or everybody wanted, was one shot. Didn't even one shot of the three of them.
Amen.
With Lando, maybe just one shot of the three of them.
You didn't have any Han Luke interaction. I would have, even the original trilogy, there wasn't a lot of Han and Luke, and the second and third. Like the third movie was awesome because all three of them were together again for a short period of time. I hope
Justin didn't scare you away, Ian.
No. There's something wrong with my internet. It just keeps cutting.
I have a few more minutes before I have to leave.
I heard your opinion about Jack Ryan. Doesn't like you anymore, so he shut you off.
I mean, as Ian knows, is one of the guys. There's one of the streamers that's quite often on Mr. Brown's channel. Is literally his whole internet persona is literally Ryan Johnson. He's Ruin Johnson. We're going to taking the mick out of Ryan Johnson and purely and simply because of what's it, Last Jedi, whatever it was his movie.
It's just amazing how The Last Jedi totally destroyed it for
Star
me.
Wars.
What parallel to that?
Pico, the purple-haired feminazi.
Oh, the
Leah
offshoot.
Poppin floating through space.
Yeah. The casino with the kids and the slaved animals, and
then the end where the kids have the Force too.
He tricked me though, because I laughed all the way through that movie thinking about all the fan theories that were coming from the first movie and how he pooped on every single one of the most popular fan theories. Who's this going to be? Who's this going to be? And he was like, that made me laugh. But then I realized, oh no, what has happened? And that's they destroyed it.
Is this me again?
What do you want, Kitty?
Well, I must admit, I mean, again, not having seen the films, but having seen it out of context, having seen the last bit where
wrong with my internet,
you just seem to be failing enough a little bit, mate. I thought that when I first saw that bit where she goes up all serious and funny, Luke, she gives Luke his lightsaber, he looks at it, and he just throws it over his shoulder. I laughed. I thought, out of context, that was quite funny, but quite a funny moment. But I wasn't watching in the context of the film. I watched it over literally as a 2-minute or whatever it was scene. I thought, and he fights. I thought that was funny. But
it was.
Had it been a pastiche, a skit on an actual thing, and a sort of not Mickey, what's the word I'm looking for? Not pastiche, an ironic take, whatever, on the whole idea of the hero journey. You get there and you the hero gets this thing, and they hand over the MacGuffin, the subject, the subject of the quest subject, and they hand it over, all this big important thing, and takes it and just throws it over his shoulder. Great, really funny, in joke pastiche of that sort of genre, but not as the end of a serious Star Wars movie.
This is just garbage here.
This scene you're throwing up, I honestly, for a small period of time.
Tell me. That's how we're gonna win. Not fighting what we hate. Saving what we love.
This scene right here.
Which is why you want in the next movie.
Hang on. I honestly felt this scene was something that they decided to do after the Asian countries shrunk Finn's character down on the posters. It's like, okay, we'll show you. You're going to shrink them because they have their opinions about, African Americans. So they said, well, we'll get you back. And they did this scene where she says that line when then they share a kiss. In kind of a way, it felt like it was a slap in the face to the people that decided to shrink his character down on those posters. Like it was getting them back for doing that, which I kind of agree with. That was a terrible thing to do.
It was. But
she was they had 3 characters. They had a perfect, trinity of characters in this show. They had the 3, and then they started introducing more characters and distracting from the 3 main characters. Like Rose was unnecessary, completely unnecessary. She didn't need to be in that movie at all. No offense to her. I mean, they made her look dumpy and crappy in the second movie. The third movie, she was pretty nice. Like she cleaned up. I don't get it.
Didn't they Captain Marvel her in the third movie where she was hardly in it at all?
No, she wasn't in it. She was like a support character.
In the third one, she was in there for maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But they introduced like 13
Going
more
on there.
characters along the way.
They didn't they? A rare occasion of them actually listening. They bring out Captain Marvel. They expect Captain Marvel was going to be a big takeoff character. Everybody goes, "What was that all about?" Whole night. So they evidently cut out about 50-60% of her role in Endgame. So she comes in there, rescues.
Well, they created a Superman, and that's you can't do that. That ruins the plot. There's no risk when you have Superman flying in at the last second and saving everybody.
And a perfect example, I think, is the sort of thing that Ian might well have noticed about. She's, to anybody that's actually watching it, most of the time she's the villain. But they try to make that be the hero. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. What they do with the Captain Marvel, a lot of what she does. Now you look at it, when you look at all the complaints about it and the rest of it. I think I know what this is.
Bad Superman. He's a bad man. Where you going, baby? Where you going?
Why they spoilt that whole thing? They had a great Superman. They spoilt the whole Superman thing, didn't they? With this rubbish.
This was such a stupid film.
It was daft. It really was. And I don't
we're gonna change Kryptonite. We're gonna put tar in it. It's some kind of message that doesn't Richard Pryor look at the back of a pack of cigarettes and just types in tar while he's late.
But there was a part I had never seen before. I was watching it the other night where he's with Annette Toole and her son, and he's mumbling under his breath, "If I had a nickel for every time a kid asked me for Superman's autograph," almost saying it like in disgust.
It's not a very good film. That's when
I've seen 3 or 4. I can't remember because I think I've seen the first 2. I can't remember.
That was the third.
It was 3.
The fourth one was awful.
Yeah, I never really watched the fourth one all the way through.
Well, because was this story for that one that he'd been exposed to red kryptonite?
No, it was
Lex Luthor made another
version.
one. Yeah, he made his own Superman, Nuclear Man, or something.
Oh, what? Because I know from what originally, because Green K poisoned him Kryptonians. Red K has weird effects on them.
Mm-hmm.
White kryptonite, is it white or gold kryptonite? Just takes all their power, kills their powers. White kryptonite. There were quite a few different colors of kryptonite that eventually came out, but green is the one you normally saw. Green's the one that they use most of the time.
Green kryptonite.
I'm optimistic about the new movie. I hope it's good.
All the red flags are coming up, mate. All the red
flags.
Flags.
All right, thanks for it.
Controversy. We're just building controversy. That's how
Gold removes them of their powers permanently.
Yeah, I thought it was gold. Yeah.
No, but we have got cause to worry because everything that's come Hollywood's way, especially when it comes to superheroes, they've always failed at doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And seeing that clip of him flying and stuff, you know what? A lot of people goes, the CGI is bad. The CGI is not bad. What it is the actor. The actor.
I know what I was going to say.
How are you supposed to follow? How are you supposed to follow Cavill? I mean, they found the perfect actor to be Superman, and then they threw him in the dirt. And I'm like, well, you did it to yourself, DC. It's Warner Brothers or whoever.
I don't know what's going to ask you, Ian. You know that CGI. Simpson. I'm still rewatching The Mentalist. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I see that, I'm thinking of the guy that plays Rigsby. I'm thinking of the face that looks like Owen. That looks like Owen Yeoman.
Yeah, but the thing about that sequence is that a lot of people criticize, said that the CGI is bad and his eyes are wonky when they freeze the shot. But the CGI is really good when he turns. But it's just the actor. That's why it doesn't work. Because you look at Cavill, he's got that chiseled chin. He got all the muscles. He's flying one hand out and stuff. And you see this guy, and he just doesn't look right. That's why I think it doesn't work.
He's flying with one hat with his right arm out. That's a bit suspicious.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's something I was going to say. Ian, do you remember there was a series that The Mentalist puts me in mind of a little bit? Do you remember there was a series, I think, in the late 90s, early 2000s called Profiler?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because again, you got the scene where you've got the main characters trying to chase down a serial killer, supervillain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about Henry Cavill is that when he's flying, yes, there's a lot of wind, but it doesn't affect his hair. Like if you see Chris Reeves fly in the first Superman movie, right? He's really high up, so in reality, the wind will be blowing everywhere. His hair will be all over the place. But they maintain it, don't they? They maintain his hair. But with this one, they're blowing the wind at him really hard, and his hair's going all over the place. And
it's super
he
hair.
doesn't have a really good face to match.
Super strong hair doesn't bend in, doesn't blow in the wind.
Well,
it's too strong.
Again,
exactly. Yeah.
Too strong. It won't move.
Or you.
It's okay though. It's okay because we have Henry Cavill coming out in spades. They've got a Warhammer deal is the Warhammer 40K thing is set in stone now, I guess. And they're remaking Highlander using Henry.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
don't
you dare knock that now. You come on. I was told they're going to be using original Queen music too, and I'm like, fine, hook it up.
Yeah, but they shouldn't.
There it is.
Yes, they should. It's a remake of a classic. Use the music. Why not? I mean, not all of the music.
That's the key right there. It's a classic. You should remake classic.
Okay, here we go. Here's that Bouvier.
That's true too. Yes, that's true too.
Oh yeah, that's very stupid. That seems very silly.
Yeah, but
he was wearing a wig in Superman 3. You do realize that, don't you?
Oh, I didn't even see the stain till you said it. Yeah, okay.
Superman 3.
Soundstage is hot.
Superman 2.
So, I got to start wrapping up. I got to head out in a bit for basketball.
Fastball. Okay.
Basket.
All right. Okay.
Your school's playing?
Our school is playing tonight. Yeah. The girls are playing at 5:45, and then the guys are playing afterwards.
Doubleheader. Good luck, girls and boys.
Well, and I'm going to be heading out after that because we have our school dance tonight too. So,
school dance, does that mean you have to stand there and watch these kids dance, and you have to separate them if they're
myself? No, I'm not a chaperone. I'm not a chaperone, but since it's our parish school, I got to be there for part of it.
Right. Okay. All right.
So,
are the kids nice? Are the kids nice?
Yeah, the kids are good.
Good.
So, I know, Ian, you got the new Facebook page up.
Yeah, I got Facebook page up.
Really? Hold on.
Yeah,
see if I can find the link to it real quick.
It got
just
hacked.
Tell me what it is. I'll type it in.
It's just hold on. I'll just send you the link, I guess.
I got it here.
Are you afraid to tell our viewers they could follow your page?
No, it's just a Rebecca Gull season 2. That's what it's called. But
it's in the chat.
Yeah,
okay.
the link's in the chat. So.
I'm never in the chat because I can't see. I have to have full screens. I can see what's going on.
Yeah, so if you can follow, that'd be great. I had 700 people following the original one, and then when it got hacked, 700 people disappeared. So now I think I've only got 8 followers.
Yeah, I joined this morning.
13 following. Yeah, that's about it.
So, Archer?
On Monday, it being the first Monday of the month, Alex and I are going to be doing another Monday night with FFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFF
title.
Yeah. Well, it's it was originally fantasy story ideas, but we went on beyond that. We just kept the initials.
What about PJ? I want PJ to come back, man.
Yeah, I would like to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in the chat.
PJ, come back, pal.
Deal, PJ. Come on.
Yeah.
So,
if you can watch, you can talk.
Now, mate. No excuse.
Not much to plug. I mean, there's.
Okay, well, with that, then we're done.
Oh. I see what you did there.
Go for it.
Go on, Justin.
Oh, I just hit your local comic store. There's a lot of good stuff coming out that doesn't belong to DC and Marvel, although DC's trying very hard and they're kind of succeeding with some newer books. Marvel is still doing the same crap they've always done. So, there you go.
PJ, I really, really hope you've misspelt that. I hope you know an announcement, not an announcement.
Well, it is Scottish.
Announcement.
Well, that is me.
So, well, thank you guys. We'll go back to the normal time next week, and thanks everybody for watching. We'll be seeing you.
Bye.
Take it easy. Ta-da.